Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I got a special video for you. I was recently at the Philadelphia Game Expo and I was able to get interviews with, first off, Brian Shutter, who is the creator of the RPG game Neon Lords of the Toxic Waste. I was also able to get an interview with Saul Blair, who is the visual designer for the game Röller Brawl. So he designs like the figures and what have you. And then last but not least, I was able to get to sit down with Hunter Jackson. Most of you know him as Techno Destructo from Guar. And he actually sat down with me, played the game with me, and went over the rules for Röller Brawl. So this is a really exciting video. I know it's longer than most of my normal videos, but there's a lot of information that goes with this game. I apologize in advance if there's any quick cuts in the video or you hear some background noise. Unfortunately, it is at a con. There's a lot of, people talking in the background and what have you. Even with the mic and running it through a sound filter, you still get a little bit. But you can definitely hear us speak pretty clearly. So I just want to let you guys know all that. And just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and check out my Guar playlist and also check out my interview and events playlist as well. And hit that like, share, and subscribe. So without any further ado, let's get to these interviews. So we're here with Brian, and you're one of the co-creators or the creator of Neon.
Yep.
Neon. So tell me about your game.
So it is essentially a 80s, 90s post-apocalyptic tabletop role-playing game. It's essentially Judge Dredd, RoboCop meets Guar and the Toxic Avenger.
Nice. Now, I did hear that you do have some side characters such as Humongulous and also Psycho Destructo that are characters in this game as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Now, I noticed with some of your books, you go with an old Sega logo.
Yep.
And what have you. And then now this is your rules and what have you, character development.
Yep, that's it.
What can you tell me about your character development for your figures and stuff? And
so basically, it's like any other tabletop role-playing game, like Dungeons and Dragons, where it's character creation. Mm-hmm. So you get a basic set of dice to roll, and that determines your stats of the game. And then you choose a different kind of class. So each there's a bunch of different kind of classes you could choose from like a bicorned cybernetic unicorn to that like shotguns to a cybernetic Ronald Reagan, all the way to a like a street shark.
All right, that's really cool. I really like that and what have you. Now, do you need a GM for this game, or can you play it without GM?
So yes, generally it's like a traditional
role playing.
Yeah, where you do need what we call the Neon Lord to run the game, but we also do have solo rules to where you can run it by yourself if you wanted.
All right, and now when do you think this is going to get out, or is this already out?
This has been out. This is our second and a half printing, and we're about to print our third printing of it with a different cover.
Nice. So, anything else you want to promote for this? Anything else you would like to say?
The big thing is we do have the Röller Brawl coming out. Right. And then we also have a book that Hunter's doing a lot of the artwork for called Deities and Demi-Bros, where it brings the wrestling pantheon of gods, like Macho Man's the Zeus of the world, into the game where you can have more like deities and chaos gods to meddle in your affairs.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time and telling us about the game.
Yeah.
Both of these games go very well together because, Röller Brawl goes with Toxic as well.
Yep.
So we're all really looking forward to these games coming out. Now, are they going to be releasing around? Well, you're already out, so that's going to come out later.
Röller Brawl, we're looking at doing a Kickstarter in 2026.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Have a good one. Today we're with Saul Blair. He's going to tell us about his two new projects. Was it Röller Brawl and Lords of the Toxic Waste?
Neon Lords of Toxic Wasteland. That's actually not mine. That's a role-playing game that's done by Brian Shutter and Super Savage Systems.
Right.
But Super Savage Systems is also the company that we're putting out the Röller Brawl game, the board game, when we get it finished sometime later this year, early next year. I primarily work on the visual design for the game, as far as like the play pieces, miniatures, the actual board for the board game itself.
Right.
I work, pretty closely with the artists like Matt McGuire and Hunter Jackson to like concept the characters and the stuff, and a lot of them all come from things that have already, been dreamed up by Brian in his role-playing game, since we've, based kind of the idea of the sport of Roller Brawl is played in the world of the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland setting. So, so that's where they kind of cross over. So we take all kinds of weird characters and things from this game and make them into characters and players for the board game.
Now you make all these figures yourself, right?
I sculpt them in a program called ZBrush, just a pretty popular 3D modeling tool. And then I also 3D print a lot of the prototype stuff that we do for the various game pieces and the miniatures themselves. And I've recently got into actually designing the layout of the boards and stuff as well. So that's been kind of new and fun. So yeah, it's been a lot of new experiences for me as far as an artist and things, and getting to kind of work alongside like other artists that can we can critique each other's work, right, instead of me working in a silo like I've done on most of my projects.
Now, what all gets involved in actually making all of this and what have you?
Well, it started with an idea that Brian and I had for, because we just realized, like, roller derby has a very niche kind of following that's very dedicated, and we were just kind of surprised that there wasn't really like a lot of games that like emulate it, for tabletop. There are some, there's some that are made, but they try to actually like recreate the experience of a roller derby game. And there's another one that was made for like Roller Ball, the old James Caan movie from the 70s, which is where we've drawn a lot of our inspiration from. But it started with the concept and the idea, and then we kind of immediately like shifted that into making it set in this game world, because I was already working on a set of miniatures for the game,
right?
And I knew right away when we started talking about it that there was only one guy that had to be the artist, and that was Matt McGuire from Guar.
Oh, absolutely.
So I took a trip down to Richmond, Virginia, to the Slave Pit and met with him and talked to him about it, and he was way on board. He's a big roller derby and rollerball fan, and so he then started injecting his ideas and concepts into things. Especially a lot of it started with a bunch of sketches and drawings that he did, just kind of dreaming up ideas, and those kind of sort of like molded the visual design of the game itself. As you can see, there's a piece of his art there on our banner. That was one of the first ones he gave to us. It really kind of drove a lot of the concept of the game, like using mutants and and weird stuff, and so it's got a very you could definitely see the Guar influence in the game for sure.
Sure.
So yeah, he was natural, and then it was only a short while later that he pitched bringing Hunter on board to because Hunter's a big gamer and plays a lot of different game styles and can help us with both art and rules direction. So that's what he's been doing. But yeah, these guys do the heavy lifting of the rules design and all the play testing. Me and Matt get to kind of sit back and draw stuff and make cool things. So,
oh yeah, you got the.
I feel like we got the better end of it.
How easy is it to translate from picture to sculpt?
It's actually a lot easier than having to come up with the concepts all on my own, because a great thing about Matt's stuff is I kind of cut my teeth in digital sculpting by doing Guar figures for the band, and so I kind of developed my sculpting style based on a lot of his art anyway. So it wasn't too hard for me to take the pictures he sent and like kind of just make them into an image. And the great thing about having working with another artist is like anytime I take something to Matt and show it to him, he goes, "Oh, that's great. Do this to it, and it'll make it even better." And he's always right. So it's good having somebody to like give me that kind of feedback, because I'm not used to it. Because Brian is awesome. He kind of lets me do what I want with the miniatures. So yeah, but the concept really, when I have a picture and something to base it off of, it's actually a lot easier. So, and with a game like this, a sports game, they have a lot of uniform elements that you can reuse a lot of times. So, I don't have to make the skate every time I make a new model. I just got to put the same skate from the last one on. So I kind of design them in a way that they're modular, and I can kind of take pieces.
So you can repurpose.
Yep. Saves you a lot of time.
Oh, absolutely. Well, toy companies do that all the time, where they
steal
parts. I mean, Masters of the Universe was notorious for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They were the most obvious of all.
Yeah, it's the scale that we're doing it in, the 28 millimeter. I guess the hardest thing to really kind of translate at times is the scale, because like for instance, when I'm doing the Wicked Widow character that has like the little quado fetus guy here,
Right.
it took about 3 or 4 iterations before we got him where he actually showed up right, and you could tell what he was, and he wasn't just a blob on her belly,
That he actually
with
had a
arms
facing
sticking
character,
out.
right?
So yeah, but now if you look at the new one that's over there, we finally got it all working right. So it's actually easier to have the actual art. It takes me, generally about a day to get a model's concept up and get it roughed out to where it's like what I want it to be. And then depending on the model, it can take a while to refine and get everything perfect. But yeah, the process, it's also, I'm fairly, I've been doing this for a few years. So, and when I first started out, it would take me a week to finish a miniature. Now some of I could do it a couple hours. So
Oh, yeah.
complexity. But, yeah, it's not too hard. It's actually better to have a visual reference.
Now, I noticed for this, you have your teams color coded. You got a red team and a green team. Now, are you going to keep that with other teams? Because you said that you're going to be coming out with other teams, like hillbilly teams and what have you.
Well, so we're kind of developing this in two stages, right? So we have the idea for the basic core game, the Roller Brawl box game that'll come out, and it's going to be self-contained. Like you could just open this box up and play it with the 2 teams, the Detroit Prime Thrashers or the Slime City Psychos,
All right.
and have fun just playing with those 2 teams. But when we do the crowdsourcing campaign next year, we already have concepts for up to 6 other teams. There are different kinds of stuff, like a Goblin team. A Hell World team, which is like these cyborg demon creatures that we want to do. And then we also have ideas for more tracks and things. As far as the color coding, we went the pink and green for these models because that's kind of part of the aesthetic of the box.
Right.
There's a lot of pink and green and everything Neon Lords, and we definitely want this to sit alongside it on a shelf. And it just kind of fit the theme of the game itself. As far as teams down the road go, I don't know if we'll color code them. We might. There's a lot of colors.
Just because, it would think that it would make it easier to find your characters.
It's a great question. It's actually a really good idea. I mean, I guess the big thing will be...
especially if you're playing like multiple teams.
Yes. And we do have ideas for... there's the basic game that you can play out of the box, but there's also... We want to have other play styles that you can do, like, have more teams on the board or more balls or all different kinds of weird rules and things. So we have a lot of ideas for it. But yeah, we're approaching it as like trying to make the base core game, a self-contained thing that even people who aren't like hardcore gamers could just pick up, have beer and pretzels and roll some dice and have fun with it. But then people that do want a more like ongoing experience, where we will include like league rules and rules for building your own teams and your own kind of star players. But yeah, like the teams, I guess a lot of it comes down to when we get the production done. Like I know that we fully intend to have our base core minis in the pink and green colors of each team, but if it's possible that we can do colored plastics and things with whoever's doing the production for us down the road, that's probably what we'll do, because you're right. When you got a lot of teams on the board, now, I hope that people will actually paint up their miniatures and make them look even cooler.
Well, that's what I would probably do.
Yeah,
but for somebody who isn't like a hardcore gamer like you or I, who are just getting into it, it'd be easier for them just to find their...
Well, and we assume there will be a lot of people who pick this up just for all the cool Maguire art and the Guar references in it, So, and those people, not all of them are hardcore gamers, but we still want them to be able to have fun with it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you definitely want them to have fun with the games and what have you. So, over here, you do have a few of your figures on display where Hunter is.
Yep.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about some of these guys?
I'll grab a couple of them really quick.
All right.
Let me sneak in here really fast, fellas. Grab a couple of these. Oh, let's see. Well, actually, let me grab Frizz here. So, yeah, we got I guess he came out a little orange when he was done, but they'll be pink when they're finished. This is like a chucker model for the plan. So the ball in Roller Brawl has a kind of an attitude of its own. It's sentient and can do things like attack the players or sometimes explode, or if they drop the ball, sometimes it'll grow these little skate legs and run away from the players. So this guy has like a little ball launcher that shoots the ball out, down the field, and because he's considered like kind of like a quarterback sort of, he gets some skills that lend towards passing the ball. And then we got Frizz, our mutant, who is It's in like a sort of a modified wheelchair. He's a forearm mutant who uses his lower arms to wheel his wheelchair wheels, and then he leaves his upper arms free to like mutilate people or throw the ball, whatever he feels like doing. Got his little cow pusher on the front to shove other players out of the way. So this was actually conceived of by my daughter, who gave me the idea for a guy with 4 arms in a wheelchair. So so we decided to include it. But yeah, the teams are kind of set in the fictional world of Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, and Detroit Prime is kind of like the capital city of the what's then the kind of the United States at that time. And then Slime City is like a haven for like mutants and aliens and all kinds of outcasts and things. So those are the two cities we decided to like have the teams from that are facing off in this game that takes place in the box game.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of really neat concepts and thought put into this.
Oh,
sounds like a lot of work and concept to it. And you say this will be what? You're trying to get it out when?
We plan to do the crowdsourcing campaign for it next year, probably starting in the spring or maybe even a little earlier. We're we hope to have the full everything designed and finished and have a working prototype of the whole set by end of November-ish for PAX Unplugged here in Philadelphia this year.
All right. Excellent.
And then we'll be showing it off then, and we've got a lot of things planned for the promotional campaign leading up to it, like cool videos and things that Matt wants to make down at Slave Pit. And, we got lots of grand ideas. That's why we kind of put off the release until next year, so we have time to do all the stuff we want to do and make sure we do it right.
Well, definitely I want to keep up with you about that. We're really looking forward to this coming out. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, well, we'll be here in Philadelphia in this first week of December, I believe PAX Unplugged is going to be. So, yeah, you'll get a first-hand look at it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, anytime.
And next up, we're going to be going with Hunter Jackson, and he's going to show us how the game is actually played. So here's a closer look at some of the figures. As you can see, these ones he painted, so that you do have the paint option as well. And now the Röller Brawl logo. Hello everybody, we're here with Hunter Jackson. He's going to be going over the gameplay for this new game out called Röller Brawl. How you doing today, Hunter?
Great, I'm here promoting Röller Brawl and having a great time doing it. Matt McGuire from Blair did a lot of the artwork so far, and he brought me into the game because I'm a super big time game geek. When we were touring with Guar, I made a magnetic Blood Bowl game that we played on the road and stuff like that. And I had a big Necromunda city in my house, and so I heard Matt was working on a roller derby game, and I was like, man, I sure would like to get involved on that. And he brought me in, and so I've been helping doing rules development, and Matt and I are going to collaborate together on the box cover art and stuff like that. Saul Blair has been doing he did a really awesome job sculpting all these figures based on Matt's artwork and stuff. And Röller Brawl is I'm a big fan of Blood Bowl, but I think sometimes games get too heavy into the math and stuff like that. And this game, I really wanted it to be fast-paced and really fun to play and easy to play. And basically, the idea of the game is it's like a roller derby where all the characters are on roller skates. You have each team has a shredder, which is a guy on a motorized skateboard that he has the ability to pull other people around the track and stuff like that. And so what you're doing is zooming around the track. You're trying to go in between the goalposts in order to score points. If a person goes through the goalpost, they score 1 point. If they're holding the ball when they go through the goalpost, then they score 3 points. So everybody's zooming around. You can push these barriers or obstacles that are on the track, and you can push the other characters into the barriers and stuff like that. So you're zooming around, you're bashing each other, you're fighting, and it's really super fast-paced and fun.
Now, one thing I noticed is that you only use 6-sided dice for this. You don't use like a whole bunch of different types of dice.
Right. You start out where at the beginning of your turn you roll 5 dice, and then you're going to allocate those dice to take different actions and stuff like that. Mostly you're going to use your dice to move, but you also use the dice to pick up the ball. You can hand off and stuff like that for free. You just have to allocate a dice, no matter what amount it is. And then when it comes to the attacks and stuff, if you're going to allocate like a 3-up, then you can do a punch. There's also a double punch where you can hurt the guy more, but you exhaust your guy, and that gives them less dice as they go along.
Okay.
And one of the things I like about this game is that when you get hurt, you continue to play the game, but you're directly affected. Where you can get hit 5 times, and each time you get hit, you have 1 less dice. So that means when you roll a dice, you're going to have 1 less every time you get hurt until you're down to where, I can only roll 2 dice. And that really limits you a lot as far as.
So that's something similar to Risk, correct? How Risk has dice table with that as you get weaker and weaker, you lose dice.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Now, when can a character be eliminated from the game, from your team?
Once you've gotten 5 hits, you're taken out of the game. And but we're working on the cards. We still haven't gotten the card artwork. That's another one of the things I'm going to be doing along the way. But the cards also add a lot to the game in that you can put multiple balls out. That's how you can heal, use first aid on your guys, or you can give them, there's a stimulant inhaler that they can use to go faster. We have 2 different teams, the Mutant team and the Detroit Prime team. The Detroit Prime team has more technological advantages like hack the scoreboard,
Right.
And double-sided coin, things like that. Whereas the Mutant team has things like flim fling,
Okay.
and stuff like that, where you can do different things like their manager spits on the people as they come by, and it slows them down and stuff like that. But the Mutant team also has an alien fart gas card, and they also have a huff alien fart gas.
Nice.
Which is a positive buff to the mutant side. And so each card is going to have offensive ability and a defensive ability.
Okay.
So it allows you to play whether you want to play protect yourself all the time, or if you want to play super aggro and attack the other player all the time.
Now, your teams, are they color-coded? So are all the reds one team and the greens are the other team?
Yeah, for right now, for this play test, we're doing it that way, where the mutants are green and the Detroit Prime is red here today.
And then people can custom them as they want to.
Yeah, and we're going to have other extra teams. There's going to be a dwarf construction worker kind of team. There's going to be a hillbilly team that has 2 pet alligators on it.
Oh, nice.
And there's going to be a goblin team, and there's going to be a hell team that has all kinds of different demons and stuff.
That sounds like my kind of team.
And it's going to be I think it has a lot of potential to be really fun.
Now,
really into it.
Is there a lot of prep? Like, can you just start playing, or do you have to set up stats or a GM or any of that? Or
there is a certain amount of setup that you have to do, but we're trying to keep it down minimum. We have these stat cards like this for each character, so it has all the information in there. Everybody has like a special bullshit ability on it that helps them, gives them the cheater advantage, sort of, and stuff like that. And we have cards for each team. Every single character has it. And as you activate the characters, you put a marker on the thing so you know you've done this character. And there's an alternating thing where one player plays their guy and then the other team plays their guy. So it's a 1-1-1. You don't move your whole team, and then the other guy moves their whole team. It's a 1-1-1.
Now, is there ways to level up? Like, let's say you play this round and you want to level your guys up, and then you play again. Would they be more powerful, or is it just self-contained?
It's self-contained, but I think that we're going to be doing expansions and stuff so that you can have like a campaign tournament sort of thing that's going to have more rules. And I imagine there would be a way that you can buff up your guys.
Right. So if like I wanted to show if my team, because I played a couple of times, they have higher stats than somebody who just started.
Yeah, yeah,
Stuff like because a lot of role players like stuff like that. You know, character builders.
yeah.
Sort of like D&D and all that.
Yeah, and your character can learn stuff and get better at their special ability and stuff like that. But all of that's in the future. We're trying to keep
Right.
it basic and simple for the basic game. The
Okay.
basic game is going to come with 2 teams. Each
All right.
team is going to have 5 guys on it, but it'll also come with like the goalposts. You're going to have terrain in the obstacles and stuff like that.
Okay.
And during the course of the game, as you're rolling around, you can push the other players into the obstacles and stuff like that as well.
Oh, nice.
And then the skateboarder guys can grind off of these and do tricks and jump onto the other characters and use it as an attack and stuff like that as well.
Okay. Now I hear the pogs are designed to be flip around, so as your character gets more and more damaged, the pogs reflect that. Correct?
Yeah. So there's a way in the game you can exhaust your character where if you're desperate to make it to this goal, you know, and you're allowed to allocate 3 dice to your movement.
Okay.
But if you really need to use another dice for your movement, then you would exhaust your character. That means that your next turn he can only use 1 dice for his movement.
All right.
So it slows him down dramatically. But if you need that extra burst, you know, it's worth exhausting your character to do it. And there's attacks and stuff that are similar, where if you push yourself, you can knock the guy down, you can hit him twice, enough to hurt him for 2 damage. But if you do that, it's going to exhaust your character, and he's going to have to slow down.
Okay. So now, how do you win the game? Because we were talking about either going through the goalpost or the possibility of completely eliminating the other team.
Yeah, so we had a game earlier today where the guy actually eliminated my whole team,
Oh shoot!
and he scored more points than me too. So he flat out won the game. But I think in the future we're going to keep it where if you score more points, if your team is eliminated, but the score is in your favor, you still win. So scoring points is more important than eliminating your team.
Okay.
But a good way for you to get ahead would be to eliminate.
Because I know some people would just have fun just eliminating the other people, like, you know, take them out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's a
forget the
strategy.
scoring, forget hitting the goalpost. Let's just take the other team out.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go over a round of the game. So how would a round of this work?
Okay, you're going to start off. Take all these activation things off
Okay.
because you're going to put them back on as you're doing your character.
All right.
What we're going to do is first we're going to roll off. Who are you playing? You're playing the Detroit Prime, and I'm playing the Mutant.
All right. Detroit Prime is what color?
They're the red guys.
Okay, I'm red. I love red. Red's my favorite color.
Awesome. So now what we're going to do is let's have the ball go up. So I'm going to roll a dice. The ball is going to shoot out. The ball comes out of these areas here where there's a number, right? So first we're going to find out what sector it is. It's number 6.
Which would be
So
right
the ball
in front of
starts
me.
here. So
Okay.
then we're going to take a direction dice. Sorry. So we're figuring out where the ball's going to end up. So it's going to be in that direction, 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to hit the ball, the thing here. So this is a weird situation because the ball is like right there. We're going to have to get to the ball for anybody to score, right?
Okay.
So,
Now, do the guys start anywhere random, or is there a specific spot where everybody starts?
normally we would take turns putting the guys around, but since this is just a demo and we want to jump right into the game,
Okay.
I started it this way. If you want, I can do it the way it was.
No, we could do it the way, you know.
But so you begin by the players take turns to set their guys up. We're going to bypass that step and just start with the way the board is set up, just for speed.
Right.
So we figured out the ball is going to be here.
Okay.
So now it's your turn. You're going to roll. You're going to activate one person. So I recommend this guy since they're the closest to the ball.
That would make sense to me.
So you're going to roll 5 dice.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
And then after you roll your dice, you're going to determine. Oh, that was too many. That was 6 dice.
Oh, shoot. Man, sorry about that. Cheating already, man.
So you roll your 5 dice. Now you can use 3 dice for your movement and save your other dice to do something like attack. For instance, you're going to want to pick up the ball. So one of these low dice, you're going to want to use to allocate. To them.
Right. So I would probably want to move 3 to 4 spaces, correct?
Well, you're going
to get to the
all
ball.
these together. Yeah, to get to the ball. So you're going to combine your dice together, 3 of them, and then you're also going to add the movement that's on your card. This particular character, this is Vixen Viper. Yeah, this is Vixen Viper.
Vixen Viper. Okay.
So she has a movement on her card of 2, so
Yes.
she can add 2 points to her dice. The 3 dice that you choose, and that's her total movement. So we're going to mark where she starts. So she started on this space.
Okay.
And then you're going to use your movement to get over to the ball. Then you're going to pick up the ball. You use 1 dice to pick up the ball. And then you're going to go through here to score points. If you can, try to get to her and hit her with this extra 3.
All
So
right.
see if you can do those 3 things.
Okay, so I
She's
get
here.
so 2 dice plus 2 will give me a 4 movement, correct?
No, your movement is going to be 3. All these 3 dice together.
Oh, okay.
So
that's the combined movement.
yeah, so there's 10 here
Mhm.
plus your 2. That makes a total of 12 movements. that you can
Okay.
use.
Whoops. So I can use 4 movements to get to the ball, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have the ball,
Okay.
and now I can. So that'd be 10 minus 4. 7, 6. So now I have 6 moves.
Well, you started with 12,
Well, 12. Okay. 6, 7.
so you got 8.
8 moves to try to get to you.
Right.
So from here I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now I'm at you.
Excellent. So you made it. So here's what's going to happen. So he scores since he had the ball, he scores 3 points for going through here.
Okay.
We're going to indicate that over here. He scores 3 points for that. And then he gets to hit her. So you've got a 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
And your burliness is what?
Burliness is
Burliness
3.
is 3. So you would add your burliness to this, which makes a total of 6.
6.
And then my burliness with
This is the person I'm using right now.
with the Wicked Widow is only 3. So you hurt her, and she takes a wound and put a wound marker on her card, and that means that she can, when she rolls her dice, her activation dice, she can only use 1 less. She has to use 1 less, so she only uses 4.
Okay, now what about this attack here? Does that factor into it or no?
No, that's actually attitude. That's something.
Oh, attitude. Okay.
That's something else that is still sort of an experimental rule at this point.
Okay.
So we're not really doing anything with attitude yet,
All right.
but we're gonna. So you were able to come up here and wound this character. So now it's my activation, and I can choose any of my guys out here.
Plus I have the ball.
And you have the ball. Now, since she has the ball, I could not turn around. You can't do anything to people who are behind you because everybody is moving as fast as they can in the same direction. So you're not allowed to attack people or do anything to people behind you. So she can't retaliate against this guy that's turn. But, so what I am going to do is this guy, I'm going to try to roll enough where I can catch them. We'll see if I can do it. Hopefully I'll do really good. We'll see. Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad. Okay, so we got 3 6s. Yeah, this will work out good. So we got 3 6s. His move is he's got 2 to add to that, so he's going to have a total of 20 moves this turn, and that's going to be plenty for him to get here. So I'm going to put this marker here to keep track of his space, and when we release the game, we're going to have a special ghost marker.
Okay.
That you put here to keep track of where your character started.
Right.
Because you're going to be doing things, hitting other people, doing different things along the way, and you want to.
Now, does he have to do the full 20 or just enough to get to my character or to his goal?
He doesn't have to move the full 20.
Okay.
But, and so. Okay.
Now, I have a question, Hunter.
Yeah.
See, now he has a movement of 20. Could you, instead of doing the whole 20, could you take one of these dice, put it towards an attack, and make the movement less because you have less space to get to me?
Yes, I could do that if I so choose. But
so that could also boost up your attack, too.
Right.
Correct?
It could give me an extra attack. I could attack him multiple times.
Right.
If I save the dice to do that. But let's see how it works out. Let's see how it works out. So here we go. I'm going to start moving. I got 20. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I reached him at 14. And I scored a point, 1 point, when I went through there because I did not have the ball. So now I want to do 2 things. I still have 6 moves left if I so choose. And I want to hit her. That's the first thing I'm going to do is try to hit her. So I'm going to compare our burliness. What's your burliness?
3.
3?
Yes.
Okay, that's the same thing as me. That's the same thing as me. So I'm going to allocate the 5. And that will give me enough points to. I'm gonna hit her. I'm just gonna give her a punch.
All right.
So that's gonna give 1 hit.
She's right here.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 1 hit.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna try to steal the ball.
Okay.
So the way that happens is I roll 1 dice. You get to roll 2 dice.
All right.
So take 2 here. Take these.
All right.
Oh man. And you get to pick the higher one. So you won.
Obviously, I'd take the 5.
Right. I was not able to take the ball. So I'm going to try again.
Yeah, I'm keeping that, man.
I'm going to use this 6. Now, with this dice, I could do one of 3 things. I could attack you. I could use it to move. Or I could use it to steal a ball. And since none of the other things are worth as much as having the ball, I'm going to use this dice to try to steal the ball again.
Okay.
So you're going to roll 2 dice just like you did before.
All right.
Roll 2 dice. I'm going to roll 1. And if I win, I get the ball. Okay,
Ooh,
this time I got a 4. That's a little better. Oh.
Yeah, you ain't getting my ball, man.
Okay, you hanging on to it. You hang on to the ball. All right, so, and I used all my dice, so that's my whole turn. And that's all I can do. Now it's your activation. Each of us have activated 1 guy. So now you get to activate somebody else. And who's the guy you activated?
Oh, yeah, her right here. Yeah.
So she's been activated. We're going to put this marker on there so we know that she's gone already. And you can go with any of your other characters you want.
Okay, so because she's activated, I can't move her. I need to move somebody else.
Correct.
So I take another 5 dice and roll again, correct?
Right. But you should declare, before you roll the dice,
Oh, okay.
you should declare which person you're going to go with.
Well, probably the more reasonable, I would probably go with this character here. And who's this?
That's Elvira the Reaper.
Elvira the Reaper, right here. Okay, I'll put her next. This is the first person I have activated on, so I'm going to use her as my second. All right, so I roll my 5 dice. And a whole lot of nothing.
That
Oh,
wasn't a very
man.
good roll.
No.
All right, so I would recommend, since you can't reach anybody or do anything, I would recommend put all your dice together or your highest ones and move as far as you can.
All right.
If you
So
want
make it
to,
as a movement
yeah,
phase.
and if you want to use 4 dice, you can, but that would exhaust your guy, your pickers. So it's your choice what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll probably use the 3 dice to move her forward. Because that's what you do. You use the 3 dice plus her movement, so that'd be 3. So it'd be my 3 highest, which would be a 4 and 2 2s. So that's 8, 9, 10. So she can move 10. Correct? So I put the blue here. And then I move, man. And I got that barrier in my way too. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, cool. Now it's my go.
Now she's active, so I take one of these active ones, correct?
Correct.
All right. So she's active.
I'm going to roll my 5. Whoa. Before I do that, I've got to declare who I'm going to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Go. So let me think about who I'm going to go with. This
Now
guy
he's already
moved.
active. Yeah.
Can't go. She's in front of these guys. She can't interact with the person behind her, so she can't really do anything. I think I'm going to use this to have this guy catch up with everybody. So I'm going to roll my 5. Ooh, not good. Not so good.
Man, you're like one step better than I was.
So his move is 3, so I've got a total of 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But I don't have anything good enough to attack her with, so she's safe.
So you're basically just alongside of her.
I'm next to her, but I'm not doing it. I'm not touching her. I'm not doing anything.
So then,
put an activation marker on the guy just with.
all right. So and then this will go with each character, and then once you go through all the characters, then you can restart from whoever you want to. Correct? All right. It actually sounds like a lot of fun. Matter of fact, I think I'll do one more round because I got an idea here. So take these 5. And we got, let's see, 2 5s and a 4. So I can use that for my move. Oh, shit, I didn't declare. So I wanted to declare her.
That's all right.
And that's, who is she? Or he?
Yeah, that's this guy.
This guy, all right. So I declare that I want to move him to attack this guy.
Okay.
Because I'm an asshole. So he has 3 to movement. So that would be 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. So he gets a 17 movement, correct? So I can, oops, where's my little blue thing? Okay. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm behind him and I can attack.
Correct.
So basically I only used one of these.
Okay.
All right. So now if I want to attack him, what dice can I use to attack with?
All right. Actually, any of these you can do. A punch is 3. The heavy punch is 4,
All right.
and the slam where you knock a person down is 5.
Well, I'm going to try a slam.
Okay.
I mean, I got some pretty good dice there. So let me try a slam. My burly is 2.
-2 as well.
All right.
So which you got it, whichever one you pick.
I'll use the 5.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that scores a point on this. He gets knocked down. Which is good because that's going to take me an extra dice. I have to use a dice to stand up.
Okay.
And
So
then
now
you
I
still
only.
got plenty of move to do.
All right. So I would still have this one, and this one to move, correct?
Well, you
Because I used the 5, and I use this 5 to hit, so I have the 4, the 3, and the 4. So I can just advance forward if I want to with those.
Yeah, but this is using 4 dice because you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I can move another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right.
Yep.
Well, I throw your ass to the ground because screw you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? So then I'm done my turn, and that's an active character.
Yeah. All right, so now me, I'm going to let me go with her because she's super dangerous. Oops,
I got it.
she's super dangerous, and I'm going to try to attack two guys.
Okay, so you could do a double attack.
I want to reserve these. Okay, that'll work. 10 plus. Oh, but. Oh, no. She doesn't do that. Oh, hold on a second. She's been wounded. I'm going to have to re-roll. She's been wounded, so I'm only allowed to use 4 dice. There goes another one. So, because she's been wounded, I can only use 4 dice to roll for her. So, here we go. Ooh, that was even worse. All right, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
So,
All right, I'm going with the Wicked Widow, who is this same person in this picture. And so the catch is, what I would like to do with her is zoom up here and start bonking on some of these guys. But I rolled so bad that if I use all of my dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I cannot get to her and still be able to attack her with the other dice. So I'm just going to use all my dice to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's what I need.
all right.
And now it's your go. She's activated. Now it's your go.
Okay. Let's break camp for a minute. Set up the dice so she could do the double attack because I want to see how the double attack would work.
Oh, okay.
So let's hit the scenario that she was able to do the double attack.
All right, let's see if I can roll better. Well, I'll be
All right.
Okay, this I should roll. All right. Okay, so
I'll do a couple now. I try to get crazy.
So I've got a total move of 12 now.
All right.
But I didn't quite good enough to do a double attack. Okay, I'm gonna come up here
Okay.
and let's see if I need to do a double attack. I have the option to attack this guy twice.
Okay.
If I need to. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, because I just want to showcase how a double attack would work.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get.
Okay. All right. Let's say I roll 6.
Okay.
Okay. Let's take this again.
Okay.
Man, she can't do a double attack. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. All right, I can. Okay, so here's how the double attack works. This is going to be awesome. So she comes up here. First thing she's going to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts her behind this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put she could do a punch on this character
Okay.
and hit him.
All right. So that would be, I guess, kill a cat.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
going to be adding 2 to that.
All right.
This dice. I'm adding 3 to it. So I got 6 total. And I know you're not going to have something that can beat a 6.
Nah, she has a brawler too.
So the other cool thing here is that this particular character,
Mm-hmm.
the Wicked Widow, her special ability is that when she hits people, she does an extra damage.
Okay.
So that means I'm going to hit you for 2. So that is your Shredder, which is her on the end, Killer Cat. So she got 2, and then I'm going to continue my move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can get up here behind.
I guess it'd be
Flex.
flex. Yeah.
I can get behind Flex and attack him as well. What's his burliness?
3.
Okay, so our burliness matches, and even if I get a 1, I'll still hit it.
Right.
In this game, the reason that a lot of people would go, "Oh my God, you don't get a saving throw or anything," well, that's built into the cards, which we don't have yet available to the game. But there are cards that you can play that would be dodge and attack and things like that. So, and we chose to do that rather than have a saving throw.
Okay.
But in this instance, she attacks both of those guys for 2 points.
All right. And then when somebody gets to a 5, they're done.
They're done. And it's also a good thing because these are the 2 figures that you still have to activate. And when you roll for them, you're only going to be able to roll 3 dice.
Right.
Which is going to limit what you can do a lot.
So that really helped your team out a lot to hit those 2.
It was. That helped a lot.
All right.
Because I haven't been doing so good so far in this game.
Now, one more thing I want you to show us with this game.
Yeah.
Show us how using some of the side pieces, like maybe a gate or this would work.
Okay.
Obstacles. That's the word I was looking for.
I'll tell you what. Let's demonstrate that on your next activation. Activate this person next.
Okay, so that would be kill, right?
Yeah.
Kill
so
cat.
she's got roll 3 dice for her.
All right.
And all right, let's pretend that this was a 6. And we'll say that you roll 13.
All right.
So that's going to give you enough juice to get up past her.
Mm-hmm.
And what you would do is you come up here past her,
Okay.
and you would use a dice that's got to be 3 or better to push her. And unless I have a card that can prevent that, she's going to move over here and crash into this barrier and take a hit. And
Okay,
that's
so
how
if you have a 3 or better, I can knock you into that.
Yeah, and then she can continue her movement after that. So she would
Okay.
end up something like that.
All right, and
Something like that.
that's the same with the pegs as well.
Right. They could be pushed into one of these columns as well. Another thing that can happen is, since this character is the Shredder, she actually could, it's possible, she could come over here and do a grind off of this barrier and jump onto her and hit her that way.
Okay,
as well.
wow.
That can happen as well. And in fact, that move would knock her down like that. So I had forgotten that she could do that. So yeah, the skateboard characters can do grinding moves off of the barriers,
Which will cause more damage.
which would cause more damage.
Okay. Now, is there any other special moves or special play features that you can tell us about the game?
The launcher guy, he has like this launcher thing built onto his arm. He can throw the ball further than you would be able to otherwise. So he's pretty good. And also, I think he can shoot it towards people behind him as well. And then this guy, the tentacle guy, he's the only person that has the ability to attack people that are behind him, which is a special ability that he has. So there are some other special abilities. Everybody has some kind of a special ability built.
And the special abilities just activate when you do your attack phase.
Right. They're written on the cards. Everybody has them written on their cards, and they don't change.
All right. Well, this sounds like a very fun game. A lot of fun to enjoy. And what have you. I like the gameplay to this. And what it feels like to me is it's simple. And sometimes, a simple game just to throw you out there is a good thing as well. Now, I have one more question about this, and just because I just noticed this. What's this here?
That's that's a directional indicator thing. I don't think we're going to use those.
Okay.
I think instead, it's mostly about the ball scattering and stuff, like when people drop it.
All right.
But I think what we're going to do instead to make it simple, to keep it easy,
Right.
is we're going to print an arrow. So we're going to have special dices. We're going to have special dice that have an arrow printed on them, so that every time you roll the dice, it gives you a direction as well.
That's
That
awesome.
way, when the ball comes out here, you just have to roll one dice, and it tells you the direction and how far at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds like that would make things a lot simpler and what have you.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for going over the gameplay of this game. So as you guys can see, this game looks like a lot of fun. You can definitely get a lot of neat things going with it. And once they get the cards up, they can do special moves and what have you. So I'm looking forward to, now is this already out or are you guys still in the pre-prep?
I hope to do a Kickstarter in like a year. We're going to do a
Okay.
Kickstarter in a year. We're going to have more teams, different teams and stuff like that. There's also a speed track that, like as if there was a bowl. The track is like a bowl.
Right.
So in order to get up high on the bowl, you're going really fast.
Right.
So that's another factor in the game that we didn't want to put it in the base game, because we want the base game to be simple, easy to play.
Right. Something that a couple of people can just throw out onto the table and play instead of sitting there thinking, all right, stat this, stat that, roll to see what this is, roll to see that. Who's all right?
Yeah, we don't want people to have to look stuff up in the manual every
Right.
5 minutes, and we don't want people to have to do complicated math or have to look things up on charts and stuff like that. We want to make it easy, simple to play, fast, and fun. And that's my main influence and my main goal in being involved in this project, because I'm a big time game geek myself. I love games like Blood Bowl and Necromunda, and I've been playing Arcs and Root and all kinds of stuff. Man, the game industry has really boomed big time.
Oh, yeah.
In the last years, and it's really a cool thing.
It definitely is. Well, once again, Hunter, I appreciate your time. So my final thought on both games is they both look really fun, okay? They definitely look like something that you would enjoy. So first off, Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland is a fun game, okay? Unfortunately, I couldn't go over much of the gameplay of that one, but it is a lot of fun. You get a lot of really cool, unique characters in it, such as, Humongous Urungus, which anybody who moves in Guar circles know who he is. He does have a show every Sunday at 4:20 on his channel. Definitely go check that out. It's the Shit Show, I believe it's called. A lot of fun, very entertaining. Definitely recommend people checking that out. They also have another cool character called Psycho Destructo, who is one of the band members of the band called Guello. Definitely check out some of their videos on YouTube and see them if they come around into your neighborhood on tour. They're a lot of fun. Great show that they put on. But yeah, Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland is definitely a lot of fun. Good RPG game. Highly recommend it. It is out now. I do have links in the comments, so go ahead and check those out for that game. And also now we have the game Röller Brawl, which, as you saw with me and Hunter, that is a lot of fun, and it's a simple, basic game. So I like the factor that they're trying to keep it simple so anybody could just drop the board on the table and start playing, with some prep, of course. Every tabletop game has a level of prep. And I liked also the factor that down the line they're talking about having advanced rules and stuff like cards for figures, that have special abilities and what have you. So I'm looking forward to the Kickstarter for that. As it gets closer and maybe we get a more specific date on that, I will keep you guys updated on that. And when the game comes out, more than likely, I will be reviewing it, going over everything that it comes with and what have you. So I'm excited for that as well. And it was nice, being able to talk to Hunter as well, Hunter Jackson. For any of you who don't know, he's also one of the founding members of GWAR as the character Techno Destructo, who's now off in California doing, his wrestling shows and stuff, and also promoting his comic book here, which is When Heroes Roam the Earth. It's a complete collection of this comic book series. It's a fun comic book. I really enjoy it. You can see that on his website as well, which I have a link down in the comments. So other than that, a lot of good stuff that we went over, a lot of fun. All three gentlemen were a pleasure to do interviews with and talk with. I enjoyed the overall experience. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this video, and thank you for staying with me up to the end. I know it's a very long video. Most of my videos aren't this long, but thank you for making it to this point. And just remember, if you did like this, go ahead and check out my interview and other playlists like that, and my GWAR playlist as well. And hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.